Hey guys, Red Llama here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to update or modify your existing Veddha frame to have these cards closer so you can jam in more GPUs together here. So right now this is a 8 bay Veddha frame that we're going to update to a 12, and I'm going to show the methodology I had used and other options if you wanted to go with a 10, 12, or 13 uh, modification to this. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's start by taking a look at the original design. There is pairs to the spacings outlined here. I have it both in millimeters and in inches. This will just give you a better understanding of how the configuration is set up right now. The one thing to note is if you have a card on this last portion here on either side, you have to watch out for the little clips that go here. Those clips actually take up some space, so if you want to bring this out closer, you're going to run into some issues. So the best thing to do is make sure you don't go outside the boundary of the two outer holes, because if you do that, then you're going to have some issues. And you can always even just put a GPU on the end and just double check if you're going to have any issues. But oh yeah, one other thing to note is do not have a motherboard or anything on here as you're drilling out the holes, because all this debris is going to get everywhere and you don't want it touching your equipment. Putting that out there, don't drill with any components in here, okay? All right, so let's start going through these examples, the 10, the 12, and the 13 configurations. So we know the spacing of the outer holes is 29.64 inches, and we want to go with the first one, which is the 10 GPU rig configuration. What we have to do is, with that number, we divide by one less of the number of GPUs we want in there, and we get a spacing of 3.29. Go incremental with it, but then you're going to get a stack up. So you're better off measuring from one side and getting all the dimensions and then marking it down, because if you don't mark it down that way, you're going to have a stack up at the end and something's going to be slightly off half an inch or so. So 29.64 divided by 9, we get 3.29. I did this in CAD, so it was a little bit easier just to find the true dimension from reference plane. So the reference plane is actually the end of that stock bar. This is the 10 GPU configuration. This is the 12 GPU configuration. Same thing, we did it by 11 divided by 11 and we get 2.69, and in the video you'll see that I used a different number. That was my mistake. I messed that up, and you'll see at the end what happened with that. And then if you want to do a 13 hole configuration, you could divide it by 12 and you'll get 2.47 spacing. All right, so let's continue. We're going to start drilling with a 12 GPU configuration. All right, so we're going to start from this side. I already knocked out the hole here, and what I'm going to do is just going to put this over here. And since we're going with a 12 rig configuration, we are using 65.25 to mark up the holes. Making sure that we're using the same spacing from here, from this edge here to here. Have the spacing incorrect, because if it's too far in this way, you're not going to be able to get the GPU in. If it's too far out this way, you're going to have a thin wall condition. That's going to not thread incorrectly, and over time might break off. So in one way to do it, the quick and simple way, and again, you shouldn't really use calipers like this, so we can eyeball it this way. Once you have it eyeballed, you can lock this in place. So we're using 3.73, and we're just going to go back and just score it again. So we gotta make an X right here. Yeah, okay, you can do that too. It looks good. Alright, you're going to do the first drill. We're going to do this side so we can utilize the other side if we ever need to in the future.
Dada, I'm not helping.
Oh, what are you doing then?
Make the box.
Okay. Alright, there you go. All the holes drilled out. Now we gotta tap these holes so we can put in a standard thread in here. So that's vacuum so we don't have the kids stepping on the chips. So we have one hole here, and what you could do with this hole is you could just take the screw and push it through. If you don't have drill taps for this is aluminum, and since we did it at 7/64, that hole is a little bit oversized than a standard drill tab for this screw. So you can actually push this through and kind of thread it in with the screw. It just takes a little time. So try to get it in the street as you can. There you go.
That's I to do it.
It's hard, right?
Yeah. It keeps getting harder and harder.
No, it gets easier. Good job. You can start taking off the tape. Alright, there you go. So we got all the holes on this side. There's 12 holes. So now we can put 12 GPUs. We're gonna unscrew this, and then we're gonna flip this right around so we can get the 12 on here.
Oh, sorry, Dada.
Alright, there we go. So we got all the holes drilled out. They're all tapped. We don't have a drill tap for this, so we just took a screw and used it as like a self-tapping screw almost. What are you doing?
Putting it found into the corner to make him fall down.
We can put all the GPUs like so, closer together. Alright, there we go. So we have it now as a 12-bay GPU holder. So originally this was housing only 8, now it can have 12. And you can see the original holes are on this side now. And I just flipped this part on the other side, so if I ever want to go back to an 8-bay, I can still do that if needed. The gap of this is pretty consistent for the most part. I mean, with some of these larger GPUs, you can see it pushes out a little bit more, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. Tighten quarters, so we need to get this into a grow tent. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys on the next one.